this is such an interesting car for me for a couple of reasons. So, if you know me, I've had my 2006 Z4M for like 6 years now, and this is the direct competitor. The Z4M was made to battle this car, and so that makes it immediately extremely interesting to me. Then there's the fact that this one has been modified to taste to try to emulate the Boxster Spider. And lastly, after driving that GT4, I've officially caught the Porsche bug, and part of me is just hoping that a far less expensive Porsche is going to give me some of those sensations, some of that experience that I loved so much in that GT car. Because let's be honest, part of why this car is so interesting is that this is the Porsche, or these are the type of Porsches that us mere mortals can afford. And for a lot of the back roads of this country, this is a really solid amount of performance. Right around 300 horsepower, 3,000 pounds, rear drive, mid-engine. Ticks a lot of boxes. Man, and the grip coming out of these corners is monumental. Wow. Oh my God. The balance. Whoa. Just immediately, I mean, you come into this thinking, oh, it's just a Boxster S, like it's a 987, it's an older one. How impressed am I really going to be? 3 corners in, I'm impressed. But it's so confidence inspiring because the mid-corner grip is so just ridiculous. Wow, that is just a pleasure. Between the inputs, the handling, and the size, placing it on the road, on these small roads, is just so satisfying. You've got so much room in your lane to place the thing. And with these Porsches, there's just no learning curve. That's what I am so impressed with about these cars. It seems like no matter which one I hop into, I'm just immediately at home. And maybe it's just because this is really the type of car that I love, that I enjoy. But truthfully, I think that's just intrinsic to these cars. They make them drive in such a way where it all just makes sense. The inputs, if you know how to drive, you're gonna get in this thing and just immediately feel right at home and having a really good time. I mean, this thing just dances with you. And it is light, it's 3,000 pounds, but I gotta be honest, driving it, it feels lighter than that. You could tell me it was 2,750, I'd believe you. It's such a traditional sports car, and that makes it so inherently lovable because it's all about the drive. There is no fluff, no superfluous features, nothing you don't need to drive this car fast. This is a pretty normal Porsche, but I guess it just goes to show there's almost no such thing. And meanwhile, this whole time, I'm not getting beat up. The ride is excellent. Like, it's a little bit stiff, but it's not crashy. I'm not hitting the bump stops every time that I hit something. So it's still a pleasant car to drive on a lot of these roads. Because let's be honest, the pavement quality is not going to be amazing in a lot of these areas. And some of the best roads around you might not be the best pavement. So you want to be able to enjoy them regardless. I'll say this, the brakes definitely take a little bit of getting used to. Thankfully, I was warned about them. They almost feel unassisted, honestly. When you're driving the car really hard, that's actually nice because you get deep into the pedal, makes it easy to rev match. When you're just cruising around, you just gotta recalibrate your brain a little bit because they do not feel very assisted. But for this type of car, it just leans it even further towards being that analog experience, honestly. And no, it's obviously not the fastest thing in the world, but if you made it to this part of the video and you expected it to be, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you can check the specs as good as anybody else can, but in this day and age, and I said it in the Lexus LC500 video too, the cars that I like and the cars I enjoy, that I get excited about, it's not about the numbers at all. You can so easily buy a fast car or make a car like a 340i or something just an absolute missile. Whereas something like this, getting something to drive like this is difficult. You don't just nail this, you know? It's like BMW with the Z4 didn't nail the handling of that car anywhere near to this level. Now obviously, a bone stock, like off-the-shelf Boxster S is not going to drive or sound quite like this. I've got the mods in the description below if you want to copy it exactly or see exactly what's done to this car, but it's not a monumental amount of money. It's not a huge dollar investment to get it to drive like this. And plus, if you're somebody like me that enjoys the top-down, the convertible experience, oh, what a solid car for it. The chassis feels rigid. It's not shimmying. I don't have much cowl flex when I hit bumps. It's still lightweight. I mean, it's designed from the ground up to be a roadster the same way that my Z4M was. So you're not dealing with any of those weird Frankenstein chop the roof off kind of cars like, say, a 3 Series or a 4 Series even. Because where modern GT Porsches are search engine optimized magic machines that are just more popular than ever and everybody wants one, nobody can really afford them, cars like this should be on everyone's radar. If you care about those GT cars that you can't afford, you should be searching for one of these right now. So a lot of what I valued about that driving experience is absolutely here, and in greater quality and quantity than I expected. Really, I think I hope that through videos like this, and I'm sure other people are kind of singing these cars' praise these days, people will start to realize that there are affordable Porsches that you can still buy and you can still enjoy, and that you don't have to feel less than because that's the one that you could afford. Because this is a ton of car for the money, and it is so pleasant and so satisfying to use.